Well, I think it's in today's world, with our ever-changing world, I think it's got a tremendous future. We at Four Seasons in Nevis, we've seen a great influx of inquiries about people wanting an additional, for various reasons, wanting an additional citizenship, additional passport. Some of it's tax-driven, some of it's ease of travel. But with the turmoil around the world and our ever-changing world, I see a tremendous future in the products that we've talked about at the conference.
Well, it's a simple and difficult question. Simple question because there are obvious and not so obvious answers to it. The obvious answer is that with increased, I wouldn't say transparency, with increased movement of people, with cheaper air flights, with international business, the international residency is a statement of fact. But then the question is how different jurisdictions or people from different jurisdictions do actually implement it. So you look at perhaps North America and Central Europe as particularly sort of jurisdictions which move not for economic reasons, but rather for more interesting jobs and perhaps more sun sometimes. But if you look at other countries, logistics everywhere is different, why people move elsewhere. And if you look at my home jurisdictions, a country like Russia, you would see that it is becoming increasingly international, but because of completely different reasons to Europe. If you will look at a person like myself, I'm in a minority. There are some people who come and find international interesting works. But those people who give a lot of buzz to the newspapers, like Russian oligarchs, they primarily move because they want the education of their children to be international. They want to have security. They want to have, surprisingly, certain appreciation of the society. They want to achieve something. They want to spend their money in a safer world. And it means that they are becoming more international. So I would say that the combination of those two factors, general international trend and specific Russian, means that you might see a lot of Russians internationally, many of whom I hope will be very much liked by the host countries as well.
Well, I think it's expanding very much. I think the number of wealthy people in the world is expanding by the day. I was looking at some stats recently, and it was showing that every year there's so much more millionaire. At the same time, there's never been so much uncertainty in the world, whether it's developing countries or whether it's even some developed countries because of tax reasons, because of security issues, or just that the nature of the fabric of the culture is changing. And that will motivate some people to want to change. And there is option available, there's programs available, and I think it's a business that is bound to grow more and more.
That with an increased change of economic environment around the world is a hugely powerful force in changing, getting people to think about where they're resident. For wealthy people, many governments in the world have got really aggressive against wealthy people. There's a bit of a witch hunt, same in the way bankers are being treated. And therefore people want to be certain that their money's safe, that they're not going to be taxed at ridiculous levels. That's the first reason economically. The second reason is political. There's a lot of political upheaval in the world. Look at the Arab Spring. Look at some of the things that are perhaps perceived to be happening in Russia. South America, where you've got some change of governments. Those sort of political issues are important. Generational wealth transfer, third one, very, very important. So you've got absolute emphasis amongst new wealth, new emerging entrepreneurial wealth, where the children go to school. And that means that often the family will go there as well.
I think during this two-day conference, we did hear about people moving from one place to another, different countries. We heard about the UK, we heard about Malta, Singapore, St. Kitts. There are a number of jurisdictions, Switzerland as well. It was a fantastic conference. It did give us a lot of insight into how people think. The emphasis was that people don't just move for taxation reasons, but also, and especially, quality of life, the environment, sustainable environment as well. So you could see that different jurisdictions are competing on different levels, on different aspects as well. So seeing the person as a full person, not just for taxation reasons.